All right, so we'll move on. So here we go. The next part. Now, the linked words that we use for contrast. We use the word but a lot, right? And we often use this in essays, so it's very important to remember them. So here you go. There's an example. WWF, which is a worldwide fauna, protecting organization which protects animals, are trying to save the animals. Let's say this is Greenpeace. Are trying to save the animals, but they must be common. But they are unsuccessful. So which means they're trying to do it, but it sounds so good. And I can say instead of but, I can simply use other words. You don't have to translate them, just a synonym. That's it. Okay, don't translate. You don't need this complication. So Greenpeace is trying to save the animals, full stop. However, comma, yet, comma, conversely, comma, nevertheless, nonetheless. On the other hand, they are unsuccessful. Simply but. Nothing new. Next. Like I said, we could use but right in the middle. And here we will not change their position of the sentences. We will just put although in the beginning. So here we're going to say although. You can also say even though WWF is trying to save the animals, they aren't successful. You know how to translate although? Yes, that's right. You can say even though, it's the same. But then you can also say in spite of the fact that, or despite the fact that. So why did I put the fact that? Because I put subject verb here. And I say in spite of the fact that WWF is trying to save the animals, they aren't successful. But usually we use in spite of and despite with a noun phrase. Okay, like despite what? Despacito. It sounds like despacito. Despite the efforts to save the animals, they are unsuccessful. So, like, even if we have some efforts, still it's not successful. Yeah. There's another unusual structure you could use. The efforts of WWF are unsuccessful, although they try to help. So I just take this first part to the second part. It's okay to do this too. So you should be able to make.
What's the efforts?
It's like trying. Okay. Like they're trying to work, so effort. They're working hard, trying. Okay. Number 6, WWF are trying to save the animals. They aren't successful, however. And that's like unusual formal style. Most people just don't use it. But you could use also though in speaking. That's good for speaking. This is good for writing. Yes. And now we have some basic rules of IELTS. Very, very important. Like if you don't want to get 5.5, I mean, maybe you have everything's good. Like you have good grammar, vocabulary, everything's okay. The only problem is if you're using some simple words that kill your essay. Like words like you, because when you say you can do this, if you do this, if your government does this, you will be blah, blah, blah. You means like, it looks like you're talking to the reader. So you should say one. He or she, a person. You could say people, but it's better to specify who are these people. Okay, you should explain like, let's see, you don't just say many people want to go abroad or wish to go abroad. You have to say who wants to go abroad, mostly. Old or young people? So young, right?
Yeah.
So you could say most of the young individuals, or you could say young specialists, maybe graduates, young graduates. You could just graduate university, they want to go abroad, study, work then, yeah. So specify who are these people. Don't just say people, person, people. It's also a bit boring. Do not use the word must. It sounds very personal. Like must means I want it. Like if I say you must do this, it means I want it, but maybe you don't want it. You better say the government has to do this to eradicate this problem, to stop this problem. They have to, they need to, they should, they ought to, and so on. The word want, yeah, this just kills everything. The word want is very informal. Okay, so it's much better to say I wish, yeah, or they wish. Most people wish to go abroad and receive their tertiary education there, or something like this, yeah. Desire, it's the same. Aspire to, they're all followed with to, the same like one. Wish to study, desire to study, aspire to study. They are willing to study, they are eager to study. The most common sentence that kills the essay, let's say, from partially, let's say, it's like when they say, many people don't want to study. How can you paraphrase this? Can you paraphrase that?
Many people.
Don't want to study. So using not is also not good, and using don't is like bad too, because you shorten it's informal. So you better say, you could say do not want to study. Still, it's like not wow, it's like 6 style essay, 6.5 maybe, yeah? Not 7 probably. And you better say most individuals, you could say have no desire, it's okay, or say seem to be or often are unwilling to study or receive higher education, yeah? So change this word. The word get, yeah, the word get, yes, you see many essays which use them, but I don't think they make your essay really formal. So it depends what kind of get you want to say. Like get promoted, which means be promoted. So if you want to say get promoted, you have to say be promoted, yeah? But sometimes we can interchange get and be. But get will be more spoken. Get cold, become cold, yeah? Well, this is less common. The most common is using get as receive, acquire, perceive, obtain, gain, or attain. So you can say attain knowledge, acquire knowledge. Okay? Because I see many people get knowledge, and that makes your essay again not so cool, mediocre. Yeah. The word think is so simple. You know, everybody, like all elementary students know it. Yeah, beginner students know it. So it's boring. So you better say suppose, believe, assume, presume, assert, allege, or any other. Yeah, but not think. And the word thing, like when you mean the object. Yeah. You can say, it depends, you know, what you use the word. Like, thing can be maybe abstract things or concrete, like objects. For example, a student needs different things for studying, such as laptop, pen, notebook, and so on. So the word things, that even doesn't sound good in your native language, yeah, when you use it in writing, in Russian or Uzbek, doesn't matter. So instead of thing, you better say your items, or maybe objects, yeah, or let's say items would be the best, or equipment. So a student needs good equipment, such as laptop, maybe some notebooks, and so on, yeah? But if you talk about some kind of abstract things, yeah, you better say aspects. So let's say, there are many things we should consider before, let's say, before you get married. So we're not talking about the object. We should not think about tables or something, yeah? We should think about psychological experience, yes? How we're going to manage our financial side, and so on, right? So you say, before you get married, you should think of different factors or aspects. Or the word thing can also be like feature. Let's say, this laptop or this camera has got lots of things to do. Like it can record, it can make animation, it can cut the video. Yeah, so I better say features like facilities or some kind of functions it has. So the word thing is like very, you know, wide in usage. So you have to like identify what sort of thing do you mean. So just simply, if you avoid these words, you must want to get, think, and think. Your essay must be better than 5.5 for sure, if you avoid them. And of course, if you don't repeat these words. I mean, you don't just repeat several times the same words, but use different. And that's like a one step above 5.5. Okay, subscribe.